And at the close of plenary week, we caught up with the member representing Enugu East, Issues of Federal Constituency, Professor Paul Nnamchi, for his take on the shared position of the House on Nigeria's security situation.
To stem down the tide of continual violence in the country, set up also a policy that will align all the security agencies into one philosophy. The House wants end to the violence, but at the same time, a strategy, not just for today, but for tomorrow, to stop continuous violence in the country. Professionalization of security institutions. One will be the building of the traditional systems, so that the traditional institution will have a role to play, because these part of the reasons why there's this security institution is breakdown in community efforts. There's no community relationship. People don't respect elders again, and also you would also know that this is poverty and insecurity feed themselves. It's a closed loop. But there's no lack of economic system, economic well-being, there will be insecurity. And you would also know that largely from people from the age of 18 to 35, half of them are either unemployed or underemployed. This is a very big pool for insecurity and also violence to continue. Also, most importantly, it's for the state. Trust between the states and the citizens. And the House of Rep has also made it a point of duty to x-ray what they do in the media, so that people will see the effort they make to make sure that the country moves forward. People are exploiting the fault lines in our identity, where this person is from here, this person is from here, and whereby people now use those fault lines to attract political groupings, violence, and also to get people attracted to themselves by what they say. They are propagating one group or the other, and when you attract those criminals now see those things as a mission rather than a crime, because they now think that they are going to do what is right, not just that they're going to commit crime. So it becomes a mission for their region or for their religion and other. These are part of the things that have been exploited. So there's need also to collaborate the various religious groups to know that all of them should be geared towards doing what is good. All of them should also move towards know that they are serving one God. Every religion is virtually serving one God. Nobody says he's serving a God elsewhere instead of the Almighty God. All of them serve. It just depends on the way you're moving, approach, or say, for example, if some of us are born in the South, we are born in the North, they will be Muslims. If some people that were born in the North, we are born in the South, they will be Christians, some part of the Christians. So these are part of it. We shouldn't see religion as things that should divide our people. Religion should be things that will bind us together. After all, all of them are for peace. So why not? Why is violence being used to orchestrate it? It's a wrapped incentive system where people feel not belonging to where they're supposed to be, where people feel that they are not really taking into consideration the systems, where you see that things are not really working, where you see the lack of federal presence and the lot more. That's what is trailing it. People have to look for job. They have to leave their region to look for job elsewhere because they want federal job. And also this is also for economic deprivation. We also want where most of the people in the Southeast want to have the same equal opportunity that others have. And that's actually that perception of not being carried along, perception of not having the same equal opportunity, perception of marginalization, perception of lack of social amenities, perception of being squashed by security apparatus from one pole to the other. You have security point and all that. All this add up to these things that people are clamoring for. This is a perception, and for a long time, it should have been addressed before now. Maybe from the time of the 3 hours, the construction and all that, but it go on. Whether it was followed through or not followed through, it's a long time to say. I'm not part of the Constitutional Amendment Committee, but it is what we're doing now, and what are also voting for, to bring one, to streamline it into one state, that others will also now that will now vote and lobby others to also join us to balance things, to have equity, to have equality of representation, and also to show that others will have empathy, and that will also show love to one another. That the country is, which when all of us have empathy, feel equality, fully equal, then the society will be a better place to be. Or rather, Nigeria will be a better place for all of us to be. I also feel that it is better for us to be together because of this thing. If all the zone, what is good for the goose is also good for the gender. For a long time, part of the deprivation is lack of federal amenities. And today, the federal government has graciously given us a University of Agriculture, which I'm also moving for it to pass to the University of Agriculture, Innovation and Development. I've just put that bill so that it can be expanded. So that's where people can get work. That's where we want to advance innovation in agriculture and in all other fields. Our people are very industrious, very artistic, very creative. And I'm sure that the sustainable development goals will be achieved when we have such things in our area, because they are well-to-do, thoughtful, and also engaging in whatever they do. And I'm very, very sure their entrepreneuring is in their DNA of the Southeasterner. And I'm sure everybody knows about that. And I'm very, very convinced that once the enabling environment is there, like the president said, the Taiwan of Africa will emerge in the Southeast.
This week on Legislative Terms and Tools, we are defining a small section of every bill, but one that carries big meaning, the explanatory memorandum. It is the part that tells you what a bill is about at a glance. And as usual, Chairman of the House Committee on Rules and Business, Francis Waive, is on hand to break it all down for us.
Yeah, the explanatory memorandum is part of the law itself that kind of explains, gives a background view of what the piece of legislation is all about. So when you are making law and you, at the back of it or the bottom of it, this explanatory memorandum goes on to say the purpose of this is this, to cure this, to cure that, to do this, to do that. Now it helps the when they want to argue before a court of law who interprets the law, they want to know the intent of the law, what was in the minds of the lawmakers when that law was made. So the explanatory memorandum gives that background that helps you to capture, understand better the content of the law.
This week on the committee segment, the spotlight turns to police affairs in the wake of President Tinubu's declaration of a state of emergency on security. We speak with the chairman of the House Committee on Police Affairs, Abubakar Maki Eleman, who represents Malam Maduri, Kaugama Federal Constituency of Jigawa State, on what the emergency declaration means for policing operations and public safety across the country.
Kudos to Mr. President for him declaring state of emergency on security. Immediately you can see that the kind of step that started taking, and even directed the Inspector General of Police to withdraw all the BIPs, police BIPs, police attached to the BIPs, in which he mopped up almost 11,566. They are going to be useful in some areas that we are having serious insecurity. We finished deliberating. We have consolidated a report in which, if you could recall vividly, there was a time that I even raised up and talked particularly item 15, where the chairman and the deputy speaker who chaired the committee of the whole deliberated on the outcome of our a discussion on the security issues, that the pronunciation of Mr. President directing the Inspector General of Police to withdraw all police attached to PIPs. I said we should be specific, in which you can understand both me and him. He's saying that members are not BIPs. I say in a layman's perspective, members, or even those who are not even close to being members, they are BIPs. Because who are following, the police officers, who are they following? We, the politicians, myself inclusive. So you understand. So pulling them out is to secure and protect the image of the nation. Because all what we are discussing, there are issues of internal insecurity. And internal insecurity is suddenly the schedule of police. But we were not given that opportunity. But I really appreciate Mr. President trying to bring a new reform to police, encouraging the Inspector General of Police already, in which he started, but his handicap, in which during our sitting, I mentioned them, financial. If you can finance our police, they can do wonders for you. We have police officers who are well trained. They need motivation and encouragement. The environment they are living must be an environment that will encourage you to stay and be there. But for the past years, police have been neglected. I'm telling you, this kind of reform, the Inspector General of Police came up with it and accepted by Mr. President. God willing, I'm congratulating the current police officers in advance. You know, when you are talking of security, you don't politicize it. And like the Christopher Musa, being the CDS, immediate past CDS, being replaced with my boss, who's almost a father to me, the Minister of Defense, in a political aspect of it. But when you look at the angle, the way how Mr. President send state of emergency on security and bring the immediate past CDS to become the chairman, the Minister of Defense. So it's a point of appreciation to Mr. President that at least he's serious on handling the current situation we find ourselves.
And that's you and your reps for this week. I'm Victor Azo. Thank you for watching. See you next time.